Welcome to Soldier's Legacy. In war, some carry rifles, some carry hope. But when chaos strikes, even hope learns to fight back. Her name was Corporal Lena Hart, a combat medic attached to an elite recon unit deep in the mountains of Helmand. Her mission was simple: keep everyone alive. Her orders: never pick up a weapon unless it's the last resort. For weeks, the team had moved silently through dusty valleys and broken villages, tracing enemy radio signals. Lena was the heartbeat of the squad, the one who patched bullet wounds, calmed nerves, and reminded men that life was still worth saving. To them, she wasn't a soldier. She was a shield. But war doesn't respect titles. It was supposed to be a routine extraction. The team was halfway through a dry creek bed when the first explosion tore the silence apart. The ground erupted. Dust, shrapnel, screams. Ambush. Take cover. The team leader shouted. Lena dove behind a rock, heart pounding. She could hear bullets tearing into the dirt around her. One by one, the SEALs returned fire, but the enemy had the high ground well hidden. Prepared. Then came the call every medic fears. Doc, I'm hit. Sergeant Cole was lying out in the open, a crimson bloom spreading across his vest. No one could reach him. No one but her. Lena's instincts took over. She threw down her med pack, tightened her helmet strap, and sprinted through the storm. Bullets cracked past her, one grazing her sleeve, another splintering the rock beside her. But she didn't stop. Sliding beside Cole, she pressed her hands into the wound. Stay with me. You're not done yet. Cole's eyes fluttered, his voice weak. You're crazy, Doc. She ignored him, wrapping a tourniquet, forcing her trembling hands to stay steady. Her radio hissed with static. Lena, we can't suppress them too many. She looked around. 3 men down. The rest pinned. Ammunition running low. The enemy was closing in, and then she saw it, her rifle, half buried in the dirt beside a fallen Marine. Every voice in her training echoed in her head. Medics don't fight. You're there to heal, not to kill. But the screams, the chaos, the smell of blood, it all drowned that out. She picked up the weapon. It felt heavy, wrong, foreign. But the moment she chambered around, something inside her clicked. She wasn't shooting for revenge. She was shooting to protect. Through the scope, she saw the muzzle flashes on the ridge. She took a breath, just like the snipers had taught her on the range back home. Exhale. Hold. Fire. 1 shot dropped the spotter. Another silenced the machine gun nest. The SEALs, stunned for a second, rallied. Doc's firing back. Move, move. Together they pushed forward, breaking the ambush line. Grenades echoed. The enemy retreated into the dust, leaving behind silence. And bodies? When the last shot faded, Lena dropped her rifle and ran back to her men. Hands shaking, uniform soaked with blood, she patched wounds, checked pulses, gave morphine where needed. Hours later, evac arrived. The pilots helped lift the wounded aboard, and as they ascended into the fading light, Lena sat in the corner of the helicopter. Staring at her blood-stained gloves, one of the SEALs leaned over and whispered, "Thought medics didn't fight." She looked up, eyes steady. "Not until someone makes me." Back at base, word of her stand spread through the ranks. Some called her reckless. Others called her a hero. Lena didn't care about either. All she cared about was that her team was alive. Days later, her commanding officer called her in. He placed a small silver medal on her desk, the Combat Action Badge. "You broke protocol," he said quietly. "Yes, sir," she replied. "And you saved 6 lives doing it." Stood up, offered a salute. Sometimes the battlefield writes its own rules. Lena walked out of the tent into the Afghan dawn. The mountains glowed gold in the distance. She breathed in the cold air and whispered to herself, "Medics don't fight, unless they have to." That day, the woman who swore to heal learned that saving lives sometimes means pulling the trigger in war. Heroes aren't defined by what they carry. Sometimes, it's the heart behind the weapon that changes everything. This was Corporal Lena Hart, the medic, who fought back when the world told her not to. And this is Soldier's Legacy.